Hi, and welcome to this new episode, our first one of 2024. And we didn't record in January because there's a few times that we haven't recorded in January. We need a month to recap and I guess recuperate. So here we are. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, long time no see.
Actually, no, because we saw each other at the birch tree
Oh yeah, yeah, we
bookstore
did see each
thing.
other. Yeah, we
Yay.
have
Yeah,
seen each other.
we get to see each other when we have events.
Yeah, in person.
Yeah. So we have a lot to recap on this one, but it's not so much recap. Big things happened. So I wanted to
Well, what are we talking about today?
this one is going to be switching agents, which is a very scary thing to do. And we're going to talk about, so I ended up switching agents and I'll go through like why, how did I do it? And just kind of like step by step and all the stuff that comes with it. Because when you left your agent, it was for different reasons, and you were also going through some changes that you were going to look for work outside and outside of the home, I guess you can say it. And mine was a different reason. So I think I don't know. I think I was more hesitant to do it, and I don't know. We'll go through that. It wasn't an easy it wasn't an easy thing for me to do.
Well, I mean, part of the reason I left mine, part of the reason I was looking for work outside the home is because my agent wasn't getting me any work. So I had to
Yeah.
find
Well,
another
yeah,
way.
right. And we were getting a lot of work, but it was the from your own um with the graphic design stuff.
Yeah, I was getting, yeah.
Yeah. And you were looking for illustration work, which I guess we're gonna get to it at the end, how your plans, because
Hmm.
I'm excited about that. Um, okay. So let's I guess a quick recap. Um, End of the year. There were some a lot of changes. I was already thinking about for me, I was already thinking about I don't feel like I am I felt like I was stuck at the starting gate. We were submitting, we were
Yeah.
getting rewrites and resubmits. It was good. I enjoyed working with my previous agent. It wasn't an issue of not not liking the agency or anything. It wasn't that. It was just I wasn't seeing progression and I felt stuck. And
Yeah.
sometimes and it wasn't the first time. I had already been mulling that feeling and kind of like trying to see if it's me, if it's just I'm going through a bad spell or something, or if I really just want a new start and I want to see what's out there. And it's when it gets to those points, it's like I don't want to miss out and ever question what would it have been if I would have taken the chance, later on. So it's like it's one of those things, like it's better to know than to wonder always, you know, would it have been a better move in my career to go ahead and change agencies or not. So I went ahead and did it. But like I said, it wasn't an easy decision. And this was already towards the end of the year. And it was very amicable and professional and a little bit sad. I have to say, I felt sad because I was leaving a relationship that what I had built for 3 years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and it wasn't a bad relationship. I like the way my agent communicated and all that. It was just me. I needed another start, and I felt stuck. Um, so that's the main reason for why doing it. Then we can sit down and try to figure out what did it, or how my work wasn't getting picked up or what's happening. But sometimes you just need fresh eyes. You just need someone fresh to see your work differently, and so I took the chance. So switching agents, that's what we're calling this one, because sometimes you have to make those choices, right? And mid-career, we're at the beginning of our careers. We are not by any means established. um one book is not established. One book is just the beginning. I have a lot to learn, and I'm hoping that, this change helps me move on to the next stage. So I guess that's what I was dealing with at the beginning of the year. And then of course it was like family and health issues and things like that. So that's why we didn't even get to record. We barely got time to get together until the beginning of the year.
January is usually busy.
Yeah. When I told him like, oh, we haven't recorded this January episode, you're like, we
you
never
were
do.
Well,
I was traveling too.
Last year, yeah, you went on a cruise, like you're doing stuff. And then family visiting, and and then last year we did have an episode in January, but it was because we had pre-recorded an interview, so that's why we released it.
Yeah,
but the year before that we didn't do January.
So if you were wondering, no, we didn't quit. We just took a breath. And then,
well, after December, they probably thought, I mean, after our end of the year, our recap, they're probably like, oh, wait, are you recapping everything? Are we done? It's kind of
it has been a year of changes. Like, seriously. Between you and I, like our whole life just kind of changed. And so we kind of roll with it. I wanted to, we put here the guilt that comes with it, with changes. And I found an agency towards the end of January. I think it's been like a couple of weeks. I'm like a lot of it lost in the time. We're in February now. And it happened quicker than I imagined it, honestly. So I prepped for it.
Yeah, you did a lot of preparation before you even started looking or approaching people.
Yes, I did. Once I spoke to my agent and I said, this is what I want to do and I'm going to start looking. I didn't. I actually took some time and worked on stories. I took all of December to work on stories. And I think I finished one dummy that I had in the works, and I came up with two others, and I started the dummy. I mean, I was working like a crazy woman. But I think that helped me, because if I'm busy, then I'm not, rethinking. But I can tell you, my husband can tell you, every night I was like, am I doing the right thing? Is this a good thing? Should I just stay? Should I just go? I was so wishy-washy towards the end. I was really struggling with the decision. Because you feel like I have a sure thing. I have a way to get to editors already. Am I going to leave this for the unknown? And the unknown is always scary, right? So I put my energy into working in new stories. And, I think that worked for me. Keeping myself busy helped me get through the whole December. And when everything's in holidays, nothing's happening. I'm not going to go start looking for agencies then anyway. Everybody's asleep, everybody's out on holiday. Yeah. So I did find an agent, and I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. It feels like, the very beginning and the prospects of what could happen. And I am excited. It's a very nice agency. It's a big agency, and they have kind of like a solid foot in Kidlit.
Yeah, and I would say, yeah,
I think definitely. So that I'm very excited about. I mean, they are Kidlit all the way. And and that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in an agency that
where Kidlit is their only.
Yes, and when you say Kidlit, we're talking from like board books to YA, but it still falls within Kidlit. But there's no cookbooks or adult books or a romance novel or anything else. It's like, this is the industry. And I don't know, like maybe it's like I'm hoping that there's a larger reach for art directors. I don't know, maybe not, we'll find out. So what did I do? What were my steps after I came to terms that this is what I was doing? I worked on new stories because I wanted to approach the new agencies that I was going to query with something new as well. And
you had a lot of dummies, but they had all been on submission. So right, like, so they'd been out there, so you wanted new things to show.
Right, right. I wanted new work. And you grow and you change and you learn more. So I don't- you I like to keep writing and coming up with new stuff, and so ideas keep coming. So why not, right? So use them while they come out. So the first thing I did after that was to get a membership for Publishers Weekly. No,
Oh yeah.
Publishers Marketplace. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Publishers Marketplace to find out who the deals are. So now that is something you have to pay for. I think in the United States here, I think it's like $25 a month or something like that. But they give you a discount if you get a couple more months or something. So, but you know, my husband and I were like, okay, let's see, should I just buy, you know, every month or should I buy? And I bought 6 months. I was like, it's probably going to take me 6 months to find an agent. So I'll go ahead and buy the 6 month, you know, package or something. But oh my goodness, how much did I learn from reading that? Because I went in there and I looked, it shows you the deals that the agents are making with which editor, which, you know, publishing house. And you know, you can find those deals when people post them, but this one actually has the breakdown. And um it like then I could see, okay, this agent is representing the author, this one's representing the illustrator, this one is representing author and illustrator together. So it gave me a better view of which are the agencies that are kind of like making the deals over and over again. So I started a list using that. um I I just made a list of the ones that I wanted to approach in the order that I wanted to approach them. Now, some of them were closed for submissions. Some of them are not taking right now. So I went to Query Tracker and I put there, you know, let me know when this agent opens up or something. So I'm getting emails from Query Tracker now going like, hey,
Oops.
you know, no. The ones that I've been getting are, which I thought was super helpful. So Query Tracker is sending me emails going, before you go on submission, make sure your manuscript is edited, and you should
Oh,
yeah, it's like hints, kind of like
yeah.
you know,
It's giving you
before you actually
advice.
jump in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's cool.
And then you make sure your query letter is ready. And if you need help with query letters, you can check here and here and here. You know, I'm sure they have services. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yes, I found it helpful that, you know, it's almost like it's like hand holding. Everything is out there. You just have to look for it. So that's the second thing. And then I had my list ready, and I was going to get ready. You know, to start querying. I really thought this was going to be a long process, but it wasn't. It wasn't a long process. I am grateful, incredibly grateful, that I I did get into an agency that I wanted.
Yeah.
Um,
It was one of your top choices, right?
it was one of my top choices.
Yeah.
So and that made me super, super happy. So I'm grateful, and I hope, wishing that it all goes good from here. But I wanted to get into why networking is huge, and, you know, using social media for that, and also to talk about approaching art directors on our own, because in that lapse of moving here and there, I did get like a, not a, I don't want to say a deal, yeah, for illustrating
Yeah.
a children's
It's a
book.
deal.
It's a deal. And I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere. I've been 3 years without anything. And then all of a sudden, of course, now, you know, when it rains, it pours kind of thing. And it came up. But it came directly from a mailing I did back in September. So
Yeah.
that I like that was something I could actually see, okay, this specific thing worked.
It was an email though, right?
I did
You
it in
sent an email.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kept hearing, and you hear everything. You hear, oh, you know, postcards are dead. You shouldn't do that, especially after COVID. Nobody's doing that. But then you hear other people saying, like, no, postcards are still accepted and appreciated. So it all depends on
Yeah.
who you listen to. But I didn't have. I'm glad I didn't do postcards, honestly, because I would have spent money on them, and it would have said, you know, my agency, the old agency. So now I would have had all these postcards that I cannot use, and Unless I guess I print a sticker and put them over them or something.
Yeah.
Which that makes me realize what you put on these postcards, if you're spending money on them, it's probably a good idea to maybe do it with a sticker, like a label, print a label, and then you can put. It's
Then it
happened to
can
me
change.
before.
Yeah.
It's happened to me before because I made the dumb mistake of putting my phone number at the beginning when I was starting out. I'm like, why do I want my phone number? When you go to conferences, you have all these people texting you after, and I'm like, I don't want that. It should
Yeah.
just be my email. So I have all these postcards that I cannot use because they have my phone number. And then your artwork changes and you grow, and then you're like, oh man, I have 500 of postcards with this illustration.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like money wasted. And the thing is, like, when you do the postcards, like you have one price for 250, but if you spend it $5 more, it's 500. Yeah, so of course you do it 500, but then you have 500, then you have 410 sitting there. You're never going to use 500 postcards, right?
No, yeah, I always do 250. There's no way I'll use. I
You
don't
did.
even use 250. Yeah, it's a lot.
Even when we went to conferences, I I don't think I ever passed 100 postcards. Like seriously, being used.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you have to be a little wiser with your money, I think. And before I wasn't, so now I'm a little bit more aware of it, and like, okay, let's see where the money goes. So I did mine online. You started this list, and then we both combined and worked on this list together, looking through the SCBWI,
Their blue book.
the blue book, thank you, and just going, okay, what art directors we would like to work for, as illustrators.
That was
And
for that was for art directors. Yeah, we did that.
You forgot.
No, I thought you were talking about agents for a second. Yeah.
No. The agent was separate later.
Yeah.
This was back last year, towards around September.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I started it last spring when I left my agent. Yeah.
You started that list. Okay. So when I did that, I had not made the decision to leave my agent, my ex-agent yet. I have not. So my mailing went out with, this is I'm represented by so and so. So
you were just looking for
work. I
forgot
about it. I was just like, okay, I have to put my work out there if it's not ever going to get seen. And so September, October, November, December, January, so 4 months later, I get some interest, and they're like, hey, we would like you to illustrate this book. So it just happened just right in the middle of me changing agencies, and it's going to be working out fine. I'm excited about it. I am, and I guess that's where you come in when because at the end we were going to talk about your new direction now that you're working outside of the house. But I am excited about illustrating. Just it's like a break. It feels like
it's what you like to do. I mean, that's what you started this whole thing.
No,
illustrating.
We're going to get into this on the next episode about what it means to be an author illustrator, what it means to be an illustrator, and what it means to be an author, like the three different things.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is quite enjoyable, and I feel like I just took a little break. Honestly, I've been working super fast, but I feel like it's been a roller coaster. This month has been a roller coaster for sure. So and networking was huge. Talking to people that are represented and by these agents that I wanted, I'm talking to them and going, hey, what do you think? Do you like this agency? What have you heard about this agency? All of that comes in, and this is why networking is so important, because you're not going to do it alone. And I guess, you know what, I honestly think that I think that we should do an episode on what networking really means, because some people don't know exactly what it means. Like, what do you do? How do you network? How do you do it? Most people are shy, most people are, in their home. So how do you network, and how to use social media as your way to network as well?
Yeah.
And we can do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, I think It's just coming in contact with people. You got a lot of advice, or you asked for advice from others before you took the jump.
I did.
You didn't it wasn't just an overnight decision. You asked for people's input and what they thought. And but I do think that certain agents are good for, like, it's like finding it's like a not a relationship, but where it's a working relationship, and some people have strengths in some areas and some people have strengths in other areas in any working environment. And so the places that you might need more help in, you need to find an agent that who can support you in those areas. And I think that's part of the challenge when you're looking for an agent, is finding somebody. But and you might not even know what that is in the
Right.
beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You when you started, you had no idea what you needed or what you were really looking for. You were just looking for someone to give you a chance. And
That's funny
now,
that you said that, because remember I said to you, I said like 3 years ago, if anybody would have said, yeah, I'll represent you, I'll be like, I'm over
yeah,
the moon, I'm great,
yeah,
fantastic. And then now it's
yeah,
like, wait, I really want to, let me see which houses I want to be in, and let me try
yeah,
those first.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of new illustrators and authors, that's where sometimes that's where they stumble, because they don't really know what they're looking for. They don't know, and they don't know what they need until they start the process, and then they realize,
Yeah.
oh wait, this, maybe I need more of this, or
And
maybe
this is not to say anything bad, because honestly,
no,
my my first time with my agent,
yeah,
she sold the book right away.
yeah,
But so many things happened after that that made me feel stuck.
yeah,
The editor that acquired the book left. So my
yeah,
book was kind of like left, out there. It got picked up by another editor. And then the process was different after that.
and
So,
then yeah,
the person that liked your book originally is no longer there.
yeah,
Then we switched agencies. We switched to another agency, and we switched to another agency after that. And it's just like I kept feeling like I was starting over, and never
mm-hmm.
really taking traction. Um,
Yeah,
I think if I have to pinpoint what it was that I kept feeling stuck.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a little bit hard, and that this is where comparison comes in, and we all fall into this, that you see your peers running past you,
Yeah,
right? And I'm like, wait, what am I doing wrong? And then I'm helping people write their books, and I'm helping, I'm mentoring, and they're going with it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening? Why are my feet in the mud? For some reason I'm spinning my wheels, or something's happening. And that's
yeah,
how I felt. So yeah, I think it was a lot of starts and restarts, and the whole with the editor and the agencies and all that. And I just felt like I needed. I'm 50. I'm gonna be, well, I'm 49 still, but I'm gonna be 50. I'm like, I don't
yeah,
have time to waste and to just stay there.
mm-hmm.
I have the energy now that I can work long hours, and my kids are just finishing the chapter of their lives where they go to high school, like finishing high school. I have time. Now I have more time. I want to use it correctly. I want to put
Yeah,
it towards that. Ah, but also talking about seeing your peers succeed. Um, that well, we saw a few posts of these of friends that we have seen online
mm-hmm.
running the race with us at the same time, and then they get their deals, and it's like it happens. Like I've
Yeah,
seen people are like work on these projects, and they have this little character, and that character becomes a story, and then they keep posting, and you can see the progression too. And
yeah,
then we see the announcements of I got an agent, or I got a book deal, and you genuinely feel happy for them, because you feel like you've been rooting for them behind the
yeah,
scenes.
yeah, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah,
Well, I'm I know I've talked, this entire episode has been me talking because I had this huge
okay,
announcement. I am just gonna say one thing, and then I get off, and you can take on. But I've been getting a lot of emails and uh, um, DMs, like as you call them, portfolio camp, because I announced that I wanted to do the group mentorship. I have not gotten it together. There's no specific time when I'm going to get this. This is an idea that I'm working on, and I would like to do for a summer folio, because we got a lot of, at least personally, I got a lot of portfolio pieces from them from those weeks. And they were good portfolio pieces. They had a lot of narrative specific
they were narrative
things. Yeah. So that was very, very useful. So I might use that and combine them with the mentorships. I don't know yet how it is that I'm going to work this out. I'm kind of like getting my own thing going first before I move on to starting the mentorship.
I know, but you don't, I mean, you don't even know what your schedule is going to be like this summer.
No, I don't. Well, there's no way of knowing. Yeah. But there's always time. I mean, I do have a few mentorships here and there, and somehow I find the time. But yes, I don't have it set up in my head yet, what I'm going to teach, when, how I'm going to, I have some ideas. So I will let you know when it's out there for sure. You'll see announcements for it far and wide when I actually get it together. But I'm in the middle of switching.
Can you explain what it was for those that may not have heard the episode where you talked about it?
So I started with summer folio, and that's on my website, and it's going to stay up on my website. And next year I'll change the prompts and put some new ones. It was I think it was 7 weeks that I took in the summer, and each week we had a prompt, but very specific prompts. Like this one, we're going to work on a spread, and it had specific parameters, leave room for text. And then it gave you a good prompt that was open enough. I'm not telling you if it's people, if it's animals, or what it is that it has to be, but it was giving you an idea, so you don't start with a blank canvas, right?
Yeah.
Which is so overwhelming sometimes. I can't remember one, but it was like, I think one of them was everyone was surprised by Franklin's new guest or something like that. And it could have been anything. Could have been a birthday party. It could have been, I chose to make a family, and the guest was the grandpa who was a ghost coming back in a Dia de los Muertos kind of scene. But it could have been anything. I think you did Dr. There was one that was like Dr. G. I can't remember what it said.
Yeah, I did the doctor one.
Yeah.
What was it? It was, I don't remember what the prompt was.
I can't remember what the prompt was, but yeah.
No, it's like Dr. G was, it was something like Dr. G was surprised by his next patient or something like that.
Okay. I did an apple with a bite taken off
out of it.
And I also did a doctor, like a vet, and then this little girl has a teddy bear that stuffing is coming out of the butt. You did an Illo coming in.
Yeah, who's tied in a knot. Yeah.
So that's what summer folio was. It's pretty much take the summer and work on portfolio worthy pieces. So it wasn't just a character in the middle of the page. It was a specific for kid lit portfolios. So that's what that was. And what I thought folio camp could be is a mentorship, because I do one-on-one mentorships, but they take way too long from my time. So I was like, I think it might be better if I do a group mentorship, because I can teach. I've taught classes already. I've done for this SWWI some mentors, cohort mentorships. I run those. Why don't I run my own as a group instead of one-on-one? So that's what the folio camp is going to be. It's going to be someday. We'll see. All right. I am like out of breath. Seriously, it was all me talking in this one.
I know. I think our notes were like, I don't know, like 1 page, barely anything on here.
I know. I am sorry. There was so much. I felt like I was quiet for so long that I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, you just had a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. It was exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Can we give a hint of the next episode for you?
You already did.
I did.
You mentioned it. You already mentioned it. Yeah.
Well, so this might turn out to be then a short episode, but it's just if you're looking for an agent, I guess we can rewrap the recommendations.
Well, wait, there was one thing you didn't mention,
Okay.
and I think you kind of touched on it, but I really liked how you set up an Excel spreadsheet with the different agencies, and then the different agents in, yeah, you had multiple, like some agencies had a couple of agents maybe, or several agents, and then
Yes.
you
Okay, so
maybe I
let's
should have,
no,
you
it's
don't have
fine.
to read the Excel spreadsheet,
No,
but I
I
really
won't.
like how you did it. It was a really, it was a good way of organizing the agencies and the agents, and then their contact information, and then note, you had notes about,
Yes, I know what you mean.
who do they represent, or what do their book deals look like, or things like that.
So let's deconstruct this for anyone that is looking for an agent for the first time or switching agencies, because it's not just throwing a dart out in the dark and landing whatever. Like, actually do your homework. I'm gonna sneeze, I think, but I don't want you to worry about having to edit.
That's fine. Oh, it's fine. I can cut it out. Bless you.
I don't know if it's coming or not. Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to do it so that you don't have to edit anything.
That's fine.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, it's not just about taking a shot in the dark and hoping something lands.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes the approach. And we did talk about how to get agents from the beginning, but honestly, we were kind of throwing, like caution to the wind, and it's like anybody who wants to rip.
Yeah.
Make your list. We know the list of questions, and if you don't know them, look in there's an episode that talks specific about what questions to ask, what the commission rate is, how they communicate, so that you have an idea what to expect and how to make decisions as to what agent you want to be with. But I don't want to say you have to pay for Publishers Marketplace. You don't. I found it very useful.
Some of that is available without paying. Some of it,
yes,
not all of the information, but yeah, there's like abbreviated versions that are available. You just have to dig for it or search it.
Because what was nice about doing the Publishers Marketplace is that it was all in one place. I didn't have to go around looking for and see Publishers Weekly and what deals were like, and try to figure out.
Oh, maybe it's available on Publishers Weekly for free.
Maybe, anyway, but yeah, I don't really know. I went to Publishers Marketplace and it was like, okay, here's the stuff. And it was all put together, and literally I could search picture book deals for 2023. Like, that specific. I could go and say, tell me and if anybody else knows of another way, say it, leave us comments. That's fine. I mean, we welcome more voices. So I was able to search picture book deals for 2023 and see what comes up, right? And if I was looking for a specific agency to check them, I would put Publishers Weekly, Picture Books Deals 2023 and the name of the agency to see what pops up. And then I could see, some agencies were doing 20 deals, others were doing 2 deals in a year. And you don't know, maybe they didn't input the information because that could happen, that they haven't actually input the information. Maybe they had a bad year. Maybe the authors didn't have anything submit that year. I mean, there's so many things, right? But you can kind of see which ones are the deals. And we went through them and actually read, and it's like, okay, this publishing house seems to always represent the illustrator, which is something you picked up on, because you were like, hey, but look, this agency most often is representing the illustrator. And I'm looking for an author illustrator, which stay tuned for the next episode. I think you're gonna like that one. So even you can really pay attention to those little details and kind of figure out, well, what kind of agency you want and where do you want. So I had that in the first column. The first one was the name of the agencies. And then I put a little asterisk next to the ones that I wanted to try first. Like, okay, these are my top ones. I like how you complimented on the use of Excel sheets. I was I don't know proud. Anything. I come from analog. Like, I would have done that on a piece of paper with a pencil. But you were like, you use like an Excel sheet. I was like, I Googled it, but yes, I did. And I did have to Google it. I'm like, how do you do this? Because I hate how they have so many cells or columns, whatever you call them.
Yeah,
And I was like, if
columns
I
and
only
rows.
want
Yeah.
from A to D, why do I have to see F through Z? I don't want that. It like gets in my vision and it confuses me, but whatever. I've kind of like learned to live with it. I come from Microsoft Word back when it was do you I don't know, I'm like really like now going off on a tangent, but you used to, I think it was called MS Word. I have no idea. We used to use that in offices, and you would create a table. That was it. Like that was your
Yeah, it does
spreadsheet.
have tables. Yeah, there are tables in Word. Yeah.
And I control how many columns it has, and nothing
Yes.
moves. And this one
Yeah.
is all moving, and there's too many options. Too many options. That's what it is. So anyway,
Yeah.
the second column was what agent. So after finding out the agency that was doing the deals that I was looking for, I would go and research, and I would go to see that agency's webpage. And then I would go and to see I mean, it was a lot of work. This took weeks.
Yeah.
I would go to that agency, and I would go, to see their submissions guidelines. And right there, sometimes it tells you we're closed for submissions, or this agent is open for submissions, but we're looking for this specific stuff. So if it met, then I was like, okay, then I put that agent's name on my second column. I'm like, okay, I can submit to these agents. But right there, sometimes they tell you only submit to one agent in our agency.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, okay, now I really have to pick.
Now I
If
have
there's
to
three,
choose. Yeah.
right? So then I would go back to Publishers Weekly, and I would go, okay, from these three agents, which ones are the ones that are doing the most deals? And that's
And also, what kind of deals are they doing? Or what kind of
and
books
what
are
kind
they
of deals?
selling? Or what kind of books are they representing? Are they
Well, I
author?
had already put nonfiction picture book in
Oh,
my
okay.
in the part where you put what is it? The
You mean
filters.
fiction or nonfiction?
I'm sorry, I have fiction. I had already put fiction picture book. So
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
only giving me that. So it wasn't giving me
Yeah.
nonfiction. It wasn't giving me middle grade. It wasn't giving me
Yeah.
anything else that I didn't want to see. So I would go and check those agents' names and see who had done more the deals that I wanted, more deals, and then I would put the agents in the order of, well, if you have to choose, because by the time I actually get to querying, I got to double check to make sure they're still open for submissions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because publishing moves slow and then fast also,
Yeah. Yeah.
So then the next column was their email, because some of them you have to submit through an email to the agency. Others had this query from Query Tracker. It would take me to a query form or something like that. So I would just put that there. And then another column I did is, what artists do I know that are represented by that agency or by that
Yeah.
agent specific? Because some agencies are closed and they're only through referrals. Others, and even if they weren't, I put the list there because I want to talk to them. I want to
Yeah.
go,
No, it's a
how do
great
you like
idea.
this agent? How do you
Yeah.
like this agency? Are you, that stuff that we're supposed to do that we talked about in that other
Yeah.
episode, how please contact the clients and find out, are you happy? Are you, how
Yeah.
do you feel? Are you getting enough work? Do you like how editorial they are or not? Like all of that stuff. You can actually talk to people and find out why they like the
Yeah.
agency if they don't, or the agent. So that's why. So I'm like, I went back to so I know a few illustrators and author illustrators, mainly because social media and also because of IlloChat. IlloChat has given us the opportunity to network
Yeah.
a lot. Like, if anything, that is the value that we get out of this. We don't get any money out of doing this. It is you and I. We don't have an editor. We don't have and a person that does the list for us. We don't have, it's just you and I. So there's no money coming in from IlloChat, but the networking has been fantastic. It has given us an opportunity to get to know artists that we would not have on a
Yeah.
normal basis, and to talk to people in the industry. So, So that I went back, I would go to social media and I'd be like, wait a minute, is this artist rep by this agency? And I would write down their name, the people who that I know that go in that agency. Just so that I have someone to talk to if it gets to that point. And then I think the last column, I forget what I had in the last column, but it was kind of like
It's like
notes,
notes.
like
Yeah, it was notes or something.
yeah, any note, because some agencies, I also put agencies that were only representing illustrators. And it was because that was one of the things I was like, you can have a rep and you can have a literary agent.
Yeah,
If,
yeah, that's true.
if you, there's no reason why not. I mean, the rep can find you work in other fields that are not picture books, that are not books publishing. But so I was like, I'm going to put those as well. And so the way that it was set up, it was like, it was a lot of research that went into that. And I think that prepared me for making better choices when I go out there again. Because I did start going to just it wasn't a conference. I forget what it was. It was like a presentation with some agents there, and they were talking about
Was it online?
it was online. Yeah, it was a little bit. I told you, and then they were open for submissions. When you go to these presentations, they open for submissions. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't see myself working with any of them. And they don't really represent the books that I want to work in. And so I told you, I think what is stopping me now was the reason why I hesitated so much into jumping in to look for another agency is that this time I was picky. Like I was like, I feel like I'm, and I felt the guilty about feeling that too. I was like, well, I was going to say a bad word. I was going to say a bad word. Who in the world do I think I am to be picky? But it's like, no, this is my career. I mean, I should be able to be a little picky. I mean, the agents are able to be picky as to who they picked, right? So are you. Like, it's okay. It's okay to say, oh, I'm looking for this, and now I'm going to give myself the time to find that a little bit more. So, I mean, we'll know. I mean, like I said, I'm just at the beginning of this. Who knows what it will be like? But I'm excited. So
I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. So it's a lot of work that went in it, but it's I think it's a smart thing to look at that way. Today I got an email, a direct message from someone who's thinking of going to the same school that I went to or something like that. And I told you this morning, I was like, that is so smart to reach out to someone else and say, can you give me your experience? Can you tell me your feedback from your experience? Do you like this? Do you like that? Not so that their opinion influences your opinion directly, but so that you have all the information from somebody else's perspective.
So you can make an informed decision.
Right. I mean, instead of just jumping into something, and so I recommended her. I'm like, that's exactly what it is. And not just reach out to me, reach out to more illustrators that have graduated from that school, or that have gone to this thing, or that have ask. The worst thing that can happen is that you get a no, and then okay, so no, like it's just, she was like, I didn't think you were going to answer. I'm like, okay, I understand that feeling of I didn't think you were going to answer. I'm like, because I reached out to some illustrators even when I was in high school, and I didn't think they were going to answer, and some of them were very gracious when they answered, and they gave me all the information that they knew. So same thing here, that we're older and looking for agents. Okay, ask questions. So this is what this episode is like, the how to and I guess working backwards, deconstructing the process. There was something I was going to say, but I kind of lost track of what I was thinking, but that's okay.
I mean, we've gone 45 minutes. So.
Yeah, now it's a little bit longer. Oh, so yes, the mailings. With that list that you started. I wanted to read the email that I sent out, because in the before, one of the things that would stop me from doing this, so actually emailing art directors, it's like, what do you say? How do you introduce yourself? What do you say? I want to read how simple this email is. Dear blah blah blah, or art director, whatever it is that you have already researched who the person that you're supposed to email is. My name is, put your name. I put there, I am a Latinx traditionally published author, illustrator, and SCBWI member. So right there, you're putting what accolades, whatever you want to call them, are, right?
Your
Whatever,
credentials.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could say, I am an author, illustrator, or I am an illustrator of children's book, whatever it is that, and if you're an SCBWI member, say so. That is something, it shows that you know the industry and you're kind of like aware of what's okay and what's not okay. My next line was, I'm submitting my illustration portfolio for your consideration. Should you have a project that you think I would be right as fit for? Simple. That's it. I'm not taking too much of their time. My website is blah, blah, blah. I'm represented by blah, blah, blah. Please feel free to contact me or my agent. I appreciate for your time or for your consideration. Best regards. Boom. It was a quick email. I didn't tell them my life story. And I sent them the work. That's it. So I think sharing that is important, because I'm telling you, I will be like, how do I write a letter? How do I write an email to someone? What do I say? I have no one, I have nothing to say, or I am not, there's nothing, you know what I mean? Like you will always think we're not impressive enough or something enough, or someone else is more experienced. It's like, we all have to start somewhere. This was my start.
Yeah.
It was a simple email. So I hope that it helps someone.
And it was professional. It was professional and to the point. And yeah, they don't have a lot of time to read through.
No, they don't care about your struggles, and
yeah,
they're not going to care about nothing. Just like, here's my portfolio. Thank you. See if there's a project that you think we can work together in. This is how you contact me. And now I'm looking at that and I'm going, I did my tear sheet and I see only, even though I have sequential art, I only sent one sample of sequential art there. So next time I ever do that, I'm going to go ahead and send more sequential art. And a lot of the portfolio stuff that I did in Summerfolio, I think was what helped me change and jump forward a little bit more in my style and my illustration. I'm more confident illustrating now, and it's working faster for me. And I think that came directly from Summerfolio, but this time I'm going to do more sequential art. Like once I do one illustration from this one, maybe I'll take the same prompt, or maybe I'll just continue the story. And the prompts that I'm going to use this next time, I'm going to give more opportunities for sequential. Not so only sequential, but also the same character in a different setting completely. Like if you're doing it for a book.
Yeah.
I think that will be very helpful.
Yeah. I don't have enough pieces like that.
Yeah. We were looking at it. It's just, you need to show that if you want to do that's what needs to be shown. But you know what it was? All my sequential art was stuck in my dummies.
Yeah,
that's what it was. So the only thing I had in my portfolio was the ones that I finished, and they're all pretty, and there you go and out. And all the sequential art that I had was things that I had done for the dummies, and I only finished one of them, and I need to finish a second one, color it. So that's I pulled them out of dummies now, and they're going to be, why am I just holding them there? I'm not giving anything away.
And is it okay to show art from your dummies if they haven't been?
Yes, it's fine.
It is, right?
Because you're not really
it's going to change probably.
Exactly. You're not showing all of it. It's going to change. If it gets picked up, it's going to get changed again. And it might even bring you some work that someone sees, like it's not, nothing is going to be like, oh, has been soiled. No, it's not soiled. Just go ahead and put it out there. It's my advice. I mean, if I'm wrong, then, let me know. That's what I think is fine. So far, when I put stuff, it got picked up fine. And, things change. So that's what I have for today. It was a long episode, like it always is. It's actually better than other episodes has been.
Yeah, we have a hard time going under an hour.
Hey, this was 51 minutes. There you go. Nice and easy, and every step. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I miss us talking and a little bit of teaching and a little bit, yeah, it's been like we went from
Yeah.
interviews to like barely catching up. Time for us to talk about our
Yeah.
journeys.
We taught a little bit in this one, talked about how to basically how to submit to agents and how to find choose an agent
Yeah,
at a in a different
in a different
level.
level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want people to think they have to get a membership to publishers, marketplace or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can also just, I know we say we're going to finish it. I would just go back. If you don't want that, then look up, you can just get the book that you like. You see the book at the library. Who is the author? Who is the illustrator? Go to their website, find out who they're rep by, and do the work backwards like this. If that's another way without having to pay for any memberships for
Well,
anything.
and on Instagram you can see illustrators that you like and who their agents are.
Yeah. Loki got out of his cage.
I
And
hear
he
him.
walked all the way here to my office, and he's right outside the door calling
I
for me
hear
to
him.
open the door.
I hear him.
He's like a dog. It's so weird. He is knocking.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait.
We should sign off, I guess.
I guess. All right.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Bye.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I did. Yeah, here. Okay, we'll just sign off. Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye.
bye.